Having empathic ability is a superpower. But why is it that many of us empaths feel like it's just a burden? How do we deal with day to day life, processing the emotions we have, and becoming more successful than overwhelmed or sad? In today's video, I'm going to walk through a daily routine that can be helpful to preserve your ability and use it for its highest good. Hi friends, glad to be back today. And today we're talking about being an empath. And being an empath is amazing. It's extremely powerful. It's a superpower. But many of us that have that ability, it just sometimes feels like a burden. It feels overwhelming. It's like processing so much emotion. All this stuff coming at us on a daily basis, whether it's news on social media or news media, or various people in our lives and situations that are taking place, and how we connect with everything and we can feel their pain, we can feel their suffering. So how do we become more successful? How do we focus more on our day? How do we take more care of ourselves and our responsibilities? And how do we become more self-aware and more aware of our own self-care? Let's start with the first thing that we can do to become more successful and to use our superpower for good. The first thing we have to do in the morning is wake up. Okay, you got this. But we have to wake up a specific way. Specifically, we don't want to turn on the TV. No news, no TV. I know, it's hard. We can't do that to ourselves, because when we do that to ourselves, being an empath, what happens? We spiral down. The morning becomes a negative spiral. All these things happening, all these people going through this pain, animals experiencing that, the earth experiencing that. It's too much. It's too much. And I'm not saying that we want to close ourselves off to what's happening in the world, but we have to preserve our superpower. So that means waking up, not turning on the TV, not watching the news, and not looking at social media feeds that also possess some of the same content. We're trying to wake up and facilitate a feeling of being aware of the self-care that we need to have, taking care of our morning responsibilities, as well as being able to feel good as we're walking through these things that we have to take care of to begin our day. The second thing that I want to discuss today is mindset. Mindset is absolutely everything. As an empath, you help so many people. You're there for people, you care about people, you help them go through different things, you feel, you process that emotion. But how good can you do that if you're feeling helpless and you're feeling depressed? And see, that's what's important, is that when our mindset is everything, when we are an empath and we're in that feeling of not, it doesn't have to necessarily positivity, it's just that feeling of not feeling overly burdened, that feeling of not feeling like we have no ability to change things. And you know what I'm saying as an empath. When you watch that news, you get to that point of, oh my God, how is anything going to change? How is the world going to change? We have so many things to do. I'm so overwhelmed. I just can't believe where we are in the state of the situation. This is horrible. How is that going to help? And so we have to be aware of the outlets that produce the content that makes us feel this way, depressed and helpless. Because remember, this is a superpower. And if somebody with a superpower feels helpless, how can they help other people? The third thing is that the world is based on our beliefs. And our beliefs are based on our thoughts. And so remember, if we're believing that the world is a scary place, and we're believing that it's also a very painful place, we are going to see that be created in front of our very eyes. On the flip-flop, if we believe that it's a calm place and it's a helpful place, we'll see that as well. And I've actually done that as a scientific experiment on myself throughout the weeks, throughout the days, throughout the years. And it's interesting, when I have a mindset, I can look out and I can see things happening that are very powerful, and it really correlates to my mindset. It correlates exactly to the way that I think things are, based on my beliefs, based on my thoughts. It really does. And so if we're constantly bombarded, though, by things that make us scared, if we're constantly seeing media that makes us overwhelmed and makes us feel scared and makes us feel pain, we're going to also color our life in that same pattern, right? In that same type of paint. The same thing is if we see things in a helpful way or in a calm way, we're going to see that as well play out for us in front of our very eyes. And as an empath, it's so much better to be able to be in a state of calm than it is to be in a state of fear. Last but not least, being an empath is a gift that we are given. It's a gift that we have that we can share with others. It's a gift that we have that we can help others. And we can only help others if we help ourselves. It's like the concept of being on the airplane. You got to put the oxygen mask on you before you put it on the child. And so if we're inundated in all this media that's impacting us in a negative way, that makes us feel overwhelmed and stressful, and that we can't do anything to change it, we can't use our superpower anymore, because it just sucks the energy right out of us. And again, I'm not saying that we ignore all of this, but what I am saying is that we have to understand how much of this can we process. Because remember, empaths process, empaths absorb. Other people that aren't empathic, they'll see a newscast, they'll watch it, oh, that's sad, they move on with their life. An empath, what do? Oh, you take it in, you absorb it. It's an all-day thing. It might flood into night. It might flood into the next day. You're constantly bombarded by it, thinking about it. It overwhelms you. It upsets you. It stresses you out. So I'm trying to give you your life back so that you can actually process your own emotions, help others not be overwhelmed, and use that superpower for good. Because if we open up the floodgates to everything, all of a sudden we can't feel how we feel. We don't know the difference between our feelings and other feelings, and we can't help the loved ones around us to be able to be there for them because we just don't have it in us anymore. I'll be doing more videos on being empathic and the superpower that it is, because it is something that we want to safeguard and we want to use it for the highest good. I hope this video is connected with you. Please share it with other empaths that you believe need to hear this video, because we need to stick together on this, and we need to be able to see and be aware of this so that we can use the superpower to our highest good. Please like the video if you like it and you connected with it. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because it really helps us to see that we're doing something right here. So we appreciate your subscription. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. And don't forget to live your true life.